Hello everyone, I'm Richard Gon of Back to Live podcast version. So this time, what I'd like to talk about is that, I created a porn novel using a real person as a protagonist, which is what I like, I'd like to talk about I'd like to talk about a story, and, I will tell you again, I created a porn novel using a real person or real girl as a protagonist, or as a protagonist of that novel. So which is what I'd like to talk about. So at first, I didn't get any permission, or I didn't get any approval from that girl. So maybe most of you thought that I'm a kind of a criminal, or I did a wrongdoing, which is your understanding. But it's up to your opinion. But it's up to your opinions. But in this episode, what I'd like to tell you is that nowadays every part of the world is connected, which is the understanding of people in developed countries. Because the internet is all over the world, and people use internet, and people communicate through the internet, which is how this present world goes. And so for example, wherever you're living, we can communicate through the internet. So for example, if you have Facebook account, you can or we can become friends, or we can make friends with each other by through Facebook, for example, and we can connect each other through Twitter, for example. Like which we are connected each other through the internet. But what I'd like to tell you is that so the internet connected all over the world, but we are far away each other. So we are distant each other. At least in not only in terms of geographic distance, but also in terms of psychological distance. Because let me talk about the girl I used as a protagonist of the porn novel I created. So the girl is an American girl, which means the girl is maybe she's a U.S. citizen. I don't know, but at least she lives in Florida of the United States of America, and she is famous for having a long tongue, and the length of her tongue is 10 centimeters or longer, which is the length of her tongue. And maybe she has a background of Hispanic people, or maybe she has a background of Latin American people. And I have watched a video introducing her, and in which her mother appeared as a for introducing or commenting her, and her mother was speaking Spanish in that video, which is a video I watched. And what should I say? So like which or through which I came to know her, and like which I came to know her, and I used that real person as a protagonist of a porn novel. So of course the porn novel is about tongue fetish or stuff like that. So if you'd like to take a look at it, or if you'd like to read that novel, please access to the description column of this episode, on which I'm thinking of writing the link of the book. I sell on Amazon or on Kindle Direct Publishing. So where you can access is Amazon. Where you can access is Amazon, and you can once clicking that link, you can see, or you can confirm the book, in which that book has some porn stories or porn novellas that book has some porn novellas, and one of which is a porn novella or porn novella I'm talking about. So in which that novel is about tongue fetish. So in which real person is used. The real person living in Florida is used. So like which, but I used that real person, or I used that girl existing in reality. So what I'd like you to know is that I'm not arrested. I haven't been under arrest for writing that novel or writing that novella. So I'm alive, and there was no damage I inflicted on me, but by my writing such novel. So there was no damage by my writing that. But there was no penalty by my having written that novel, which is what I'd like you to understand. So so internet connects every part of the world, and diplomatic communications. Of course, there are many problems in diplomatic communications, but people are connected to each other across national borders, so we can communicate internationally like this. But even girl living in Florida and a man living in Japan are distant. Well, they are far away. They are far away each other, which is what I'd like you to understand. So there was no connection between me and that girl used for my novel. So if you, for example, if you live in some European country, so you don't know me and I don't know you. So we are connected on the internet, but we don't know each other. So so internet is set to have connected all over the world, or every part of the world. People exist. People exist. People exist dispersed. Well, I think people exist. I think for the foreseeable future, I think people exist dispersed and keeping distance each other, which is my understanding. So so if you are listening to this episode, so my voice, my voice. So what I'd like you to know is that what you know about me is only my voice. So we are distant each other in terms of psychology and in terms of geography. So like which we are connected through the internet, but we are far away from here. So if you think for example the internet connected all over the world, so we are the one. But of course developed country behave in a kind of same manner. For example, taking a look at the Sergeant Plunge of the number of the patients of coronavirus. In every country, or in famous urbanized areas, or in famous urban cities, there are Sergeant Plunges of the number of the patients of coronavirus. For example, if there was a surge in London, there was a surge in Paris, or there was a surge in France, or there was a surge in some city in the United States of America. Like which we are connected, so we can get the information about each other. So I know the number of the patients, rough number of the patients of coronavirus of London or France. But and it's possible to investigate the number of. I think it's possible to investigate the number of the patients of coronavirus through the internet, and it's possible to investigate the number of the patients of each country through the internet. It's possible. So you can investigate the number of the patients of coronavirus in Japan through the internet. But we are still distant each other, which is what I'd like you to understand. And that distance continues. I think that distance continues to exist, which is also what I'd like you to understand. That's it. Thank you very much for your listening. So have a nice day and have a nice weekend. Have a nice summer vacation or have a nice winter vacation. If you have a nice Christmas vacation. See you